I'm going to talk to you a little bit about today different piercing jewellery types and styles and kits. I've got the standard lip bar, titanium, smallest gauge, I think it's 14 gauge I own. I've got standard nose studs, different colours, the staple bar for surface piercings, which I have in a lot of different sizes. You can have whatever sort of balls you want on the end there, jewellery types. You've got your standard earring with the bigger back with a bit of jewellery on it there. The ear tapers, I own a 0 gauge bigger, but I have an 18-piece set with sizes from the start to the end. Your standard belly bar, navel bar, diamonds in it. Your curved ring, which is you can use in your lip or your ear. The horseshoe with spikes, different style from the rings. Then banana bar for like eyebrow, nipple. The smaller barbell, as of Tutong, nipple, bridge, jewellery. The banana bar, which with spikes on for eyebrow, nipple again. Then the standard labret bar with a spike. And the horseshoe with balls, as of 2 spikes. And the last one is barbell, larger for tongue. It's commonly used for. First off with the kit, you should always wear gloves no matter what, even if you're piercing yourself. I tend to use powdered gloves, smallest. I find that it's easier to put the balls on the piercings, especially with them better grip, but you must always use gloves. I use wooden sticks to guide with nose piercings and tragus piercings, which is easier. You will be given a cork to put on the end of needles. Depending if you use a hollow needle or a cannula needle, you cut the edge off, the end of it off, and slide the plastic on. So then you can take the clamps off. I do have clamps, but I cannot find them at the minute. I do have a marker pen, fine point, skin friendly. Don't use anything other than that because you will probably get ink poisoning. Just make sure it's skin friendly because some people are allergic to certain types. You will get non-alcoholic wipes. You shouldn't really use alcohol on piercings, it dries your skin out. Antiseptic cleansing wipes. And the 14 gauge standard needle I use with the expiry date there. As soon as that date has passed, it will not be sterile anymore. Make sure packaging is undamaged and unopened, or you must not use it. I don't generally use guns on any cartilage. Lobes is only just because you can crack your cartilage and it's painful for your nose. I much rather personally prefer needles, but I do have one-use ear guns, which you get the standard titanium earring there with it. I do use different sorts of clamps. You can get the clamps for the septum, which is just straight, and just standard clamps which have a slit in them so you can slide them from the piercing, away from the piercing. You also get sorts of clamps where you can use them for your nose, so you can use little studs and you don't have to pick them up and lose them, which you can do. There's all sorts of different types really, but the other bit is your standard ring here, which just has a pop-on ball. Personally, I don't actually use coloured jewellery that much. I do get multicoloured, I do own multicoloured jewellery, but it's best to use standard titanium or longest ones when you first have a piercing done because it will swell. It's not nice if you have to have it surgically removed because your lip will, for instance, your lip will swell overnight. You might not think it will, but if it goes in the gum, you will either have to have it surgically removed or push it out, and that does hurt quite a lot. I've had personal experience with this. You get a lot of throbbing with the cartilage, it will be sore and it will swell. Give it a chance. 2 to 3 days or 3 to 4 days, it varies on people. People do say that you shouldn't bleed this much. It actually depends on the person. Some people bleed a lot, some people don't bleed at all, some people bleed minimum. Some people will bleed, for instance with oral piercings such as tongue, with it constantly being moved around. It can bleed up to at least 2-3 hours later, but if you have more than that, you need to go get checked as soon as, because you may have hit a vein. I won't advise doing tongue yourself because it is dangerous if you hit a vein. Try keeping your piercings still, don't fiddle with them. Keep your hair away from them as you have a lot of bacteria on your hair. Make sure that you use your clean sheets, clean pillowcase. A good old trick is put a t-shirt over your pillowcase, a fresh one every day. Tie your hair back if you have long hair, as your hair can get wrapped around your earrings and it hurts to tug on them. Make sure that you sort of wash them daily, and with oral piercings, make sure that you clean your teeth well, especially with tongue piercings. It's generally a big issue, but other than that, just make sure you keep yourself clean, and please don't pierce yourself with needles such as compass needles or safety pins. It's not a good idea at all. I have seen a lot of cases of that, and you will end up getting septicemia or blood poisoning, and you will regret it. If you can't afford it, at least buy the proper needles and make sure it's safe and it's a sanitary place you're doing it in. I would generally prefer if you didn't use them. It's a lot more painful and it will swell a lot more because you're putting a lot more pressure on yourself. Just try and get it done professionally, or at least with somebody that knows what they're doing. But all in all, just make sure everything is clean and sterile. If you get any infections, make sure to check out because you may need antibiotics. Thank you. Please subscribe and comment. If you want any requests, I shall get back to you. Please comment. Any questions, or if you want any advice, please inbox me or comment. Thank you.